Hello and welcome. We are going live today. I am going to help you stop mindless eating. I'm going to wait just a minute, make sure everything is live on Facebook and all the tech is working. So, welcome. If you do join me live, please say hi in the comments. I want to know who's joining me on this Friday afternoon. Happy almost weekend to everybody. If you're catching the replay, put replay in the comments. I want to know who is tuning in over the weekend. I'm going to help you stop mindless eating because if you're anything like I used to be, first of all, let me introduce myself real quick. My name is Kim Likosky. I host this group. I'm a health and mindset coach. I'm a personal trainer. I was a physical therapist for 20 years. I now coach women in a 4-month VIP coaching experience called the Aligned Body Mind Method. Created that program and experience because I want to help women ditch all the drama around dieting and discover how they can actually feel good and confident in their own skin on their own terms and on their following their making their own rules, doing it the way that they want to, and discover what real body confidence is. So I host this group because I want to help you do the same. And today we're going to be narrowing in and talking about mindless eating. Hello, Valentina. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for saying hi. So, look, first of all, mindless eating. We've all done it, right? We've all done it. I want to just differentiate and explain exactly the difference between mindless eating, emotional eating, and cravings because there's a difference. Okay? So, first of all, cravings is what happens when you have to have one specific food. Like potato chips is not going to do it. It needs to be that one specific brand of potato chips, or it needs to be like your mom's specific kind of apple pie, right? It has to be one it's really specific. Emotional eating is when a lot of different foods would do it. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of cookie or cracker it is, you just wanna eat because you're trying to numb out or you're eating in response to emotions. It doesn't have to be one type of cookie. Any type of cookie will do the trick, or sweets or chocolate or whatever it might be, okay? Mindless eating, which is what we're talking about today, is any type of food that you eat. It can be healthy, not healthy foods, whatever it is, but you're not paying attention, right? You're eating, you don't even realize what you're doing. All of a sudden you look down like, oh my gosh, I'm halfway through this bag of chips. I didn't even realize it. Or you look down and you realize, okay, I've eaten the whole roll of Oreos and I don't remember it, but there's crumbs all over the counter. I know I'm eating the Oreos, right? We're not even really aware that we're doing it. Okay, so mindless. Our mind is not present. We are not present when we're eating these foods. And this can look like a lot of different things. Grazing all day. It can be, nibbling off of like candy on your colleague's desk, maybe when every time you walk by and not really paying attention. It can be in the evening, zoning out with Netflix or Hulu and just kind of eating the popcorn or the ice cream or, whatever it is. What mindless eating does is it disconnects us from ourself, from our bodies. Okay. And what happens in our society is disconnecting from our bodies and ourselves happens so much that it's just considered normal. Okay, if you think about it, our culture right now is rewards and praises those of us who are super productive, multitasking, right? Get a new phone and look at all the different multitasking things you can do. We eat through, we work through lunch. We don't eat through. We work through lunch, right? We schedule meetings during our lunch breaks. We're eating really fast. But if you're home with young kids and you're trying to get them to eat their foods, and so you're eating really fast because you're doing multiple things at once. We end up multitasking and shoving food in our mouth, or we're watching TV and we're eating food and we're not present. We're creating this disconnect. Okay. And I know for myself, when I was really struggling with this, the one area that I really started picking up on was when my kids were young. I have two teenagers now. When my kids were young, I worked part-time, so I was home with them part-time. And the days that I was home, we'd all sit down for dinner at nighttime, and I became aware of this pattern that I would be telling my husband all the things that I gotten done during the day. I did so many loads of laundry, and I called the plumber, and I did some batch cooking, and I took the kids here and there, and I got the grocery shopping done, and I vacuumed. I got all these things done, and I was listing it off to him as if I needed to prove that I had used my time well, meaning I got a lot of things done. I was productive instead of just being present with my kids. Okay. Now it's not that I liked that's what was happening, but it's where I was at the time. Okay. And once I started to become aware of it, I realized a lot of my eating during that time was very mindless eating. I was not mindful of what I was eating because I was so focused on getting so much done because I thought that that's what proved that I was spending my time well. So I was completely disconnected from my experience of eating. Now, fast forward to now, it's completely different, but it's taken me a long time to get to where I am, and a lot of ups and downs. And the thing about changing from mindless to mindful eating is it is a practice. It is a habit. And if mindless eating is something that you've been practicing for a long time, which if you're listening to me, that's probably true. It's true for most of us. If that's what you've been practicing for a long time, then you've gotten really good at it, right? So therefore, to start to switch to mindful eating is not just going to happen like the flip of a switch. It's going to take practice. It's going to take time, and you will start to build some momentum and feel some success with it. And then you will fall back to mindless eating again. And then you're going to move forward. There's going to be back and forth. And that is normal when we're starting to change our habits and change our routines and practice differently. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 tips today. Tips, steps, whatever you want to call it, steps to be able to start to eat more mindfully. Before I do that, I just want you to realize that you will not be perfect at this right away. Nobody is. That is not the way our brain and body work together. Okay. It's taking a few steps forward, recognizing we're going to take a step back, we're going to take a few more steps forward, and really prioritizing progress over getting it perfect right away. Okay. So just keep that in mind no matter what. And that goes with everything. That's the way I work with clients. That's the way I coach. You've heard me say this in this group before. Focusing on progress is going to get you so much further than focusing on doing it perfectly. Because when we tell ourselves we have to do it perfectly, then the first time we mess up, like, well, what the hell? I'm just going to go eat whatever I want for the rest of the day because I've blown it. Well, but that's how we keep ending up having to start over on Monday again, or we start a new diet at the beginning of each month or every New Year's, right? Instead, focusing on just making progress. Am I a little bit better than last week? A little bit better than last month? And if so, that's valuable. That will help you get further in your journey. Okay, I don't want to get too far off on a tangent on that, but I just wanted to mention that. So, what happens in our brain when we are not paying attention to what we're eating? I want to explain this because this was huge to me when I really understood how important this is, and then we're going to go through these 3 steps. Because for a long time I heard, oh yeah, I need to eat mindfully, yada yada, whatever, mindful eating, yeah, yeah. But I just don't have time for that, right? That's not for me. I don't have time. I got too much to do. Okay. And if I'm kind of half paying attention, that's good enough. Well, what I finally learned is physiologically, if we are not paying attention to what we're eating, okay, our brain is not registering the food that we're eating, then we end up eating a whole meal and our brain hasn't registered it. So we're still looking for more food. Okay. So I want to know if you've had this experience. You go ahead, you sit down, you eat a meal. Okay. You eat lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever it is, and your plate's empty. You're done eating, but you still want food. Well, if you've been doing it when you're watching TV, on your phone, reading, whatever it might be, okay. If your mind is on whatever's going on Netflix, then your mind cannot be on what you're actually eating. So therefore, your brain did not register that you actually ate food. because it didn't experience the taste and the texture and the temperature and the experience of eating. So it didn't register. So even though your stomach is full, you're not physically hungry, your brain is still looking for that experience of eating because it didn't get it. All it got was what was on Netflix. So if your brain doesn't register it, it's going to keep looking for food, and that leads to a lot of overeating, right? So if our brain isn't registering, we're going to end up overeating. Okay? So when you hear people talk about like, and I talk about this too, put down your phones, put down the book, don't watch Hulu or Netflix, focus on what you're eating. It's not just because it just checks the box, okay, I did mindful eating, and that's great. There is a scientific reason that when you are paying attention to what the food that you're eating, the experience that you're having, it registers in your brain, and you will become much more satisfied when you're done eating, so that then you don't go looking for more food. Again, it takes practice. Okay. So I want to dive into these 3 steps. I'm just going to peek at my notes to make sure I didn't leave anything out. I think I'm good. Okay. So here we go. First one of my favorite sayings: all change starts with awareness. Start paying attention. First of all, I'm going to pause. If you're watching this live or on replay, get a pen and paper. Write these down. Okay? Because I don't want you to listen and get off, and 10 minutes later, you're like, what did she say again? That was kind of interesting, but I forget. That's not going to do anything. Okay? So get a pen and paper, write these down. Open up a notes on your phone, put it in there, whatever works for you. Okay. Number 1, bring awareness to the patterns of your eating. Okay, start paying attention to when do you start to mindlessly eat, okay? Because it could be different for different people. You might tend to do it a lot more at work, especially if you're kind of bored with your job or you're stressed with your job, right? You could mindlessly eat a lot at work, but not so much at home. So it could be related to location. It could be related to time or time of day, a certain time of day or a certain day. Maybe you're more prone to doing it on the weekends when your days are a little bit less structured. Maybe it tends to happen in the afternoon compared to the morning, which most likely afternoon, evening tends to be it because the willpower goes right down during the course of the day. A whole nother topic, but it's probably in the afternoon or evening that you're mindlessly eating. Maybe it's in response to certain emotions or when you're with certain people. Maybe there's someone in your life that causes you or kind of triggers you to reach for food. So get out a pen and paper, piece of paper and a pen, and write down, just start brainstorming, when are the times that I actually mindlessly eat, that I find myself just kind of taking those BLTs. So I call them the bites, licks, and tastes, right? Maybe it's when I'm making dinner. That used to be me a lot. Okay. Write down these patterns. Okay. And look, what is it? Is it the time of day? Is it the location? Figure out what your patterns are, because this is not a cookie cutter approach. Cookie cutter approaches don't work because our lives are different. Our lifestyles are different. We are all in very specific situations. So it needs to fit for you. So write down what your patterns are. Okay. So that's number 1. Bring awareness to it. You got to shine the light on it before we can change anything. Number 2. Okay. This is when I work with clients, I teach them to use the power of questions to get to the root of the problem. Okay, because the problem that we normally see, that superficial layer, is just kind of that superficial layer. It's not the actual what's going on underneath, which is one of the reasons that programs and approaches that really just focus on the actions that we need to do, eat more vegetables, exercise more, drink more water, right? Those types of things. If that's all they're focusing on, they aren't going to be long lasting, because we need to look at what's going on underneath. Now, if if you try a program for the first time and you adapt to it and you're good, that's fine. But if you're someone who's been struggling with food for more than a couple of years, which most of the women I know that's true, then there's something going on underneath. Okay. So we're going to use questions to better understand what's going on. So I call this the 5 whys, okay? Asking yourself why 5 times. I'm going to give you an example. Okay, so let's say um, I am cleaning up after dinner and there's some leftover like chicken tenders on one of my kids' plates, and I go to pick it up and eat it. Well, I pause and ask myself, okay, why am I eating this? Okay, well, the answer might be because I'm really tired and it would give me some energy. Well, why am I really tired? Well, because I've been doing everything all day long and I haven't had a chance to take a break and I'm exhausted. Okay. Well, why have I been working so hard all day without a break? Well, because no one else is helping and I've got to carry everything around here by myself and do everything by myself and I have no help. Well, why do I feel like I need to carry everything by myself? Well, just because I just get it done so much faster. I'm laughing because I would totally say this. I just get it done and it's more efficient to just get it done, right? But why is that better? Well, I don't know that it's better. It's just the way that I've always done it. And so you can see as I start asking myself why, I start to get down to the root problem of it's nothing about the chicken tenders, it's the fact that I'm not getting the support that I need and I'm not asking for the support that I need and I'm just taking everything on myself. And as busy women in today's world, the women I talk to, most of us are doing that, right? We're doing a lot of the parenting and we're doing the cooking and the cleaning and we're working either inside or outside the home. We're managing, we're walking the dog, we're calling the plumber, all these things. And I'll tell you, my husband is an amazing help. This is not putting down our partners at all. That is what a lot of women do. So using these whys, okay, 5 whys, can start to get underneath to that, to like what's really going underneath. Okay, bringing some awareness to it and kind of opening it up a little bit. Okay, so that's number 2, using the 5 whys. Number 3, when you eat, eat. Period. Not when you eat and let's check out what's going on Facebook, or let's just finish that Netflix episode, or I just want to finish this chapter in a book, right? Or I just need to like be folding laundry while I'm shoving the sandwich in my mouth. Okay. We're not registering what we're eating. Okay. So therefore we're going to go looking for more food later. So when we eat, make that the single action. It's not just some like tack on something we do. Eating is not something we tack on to something else that we're doing. Make eating the event that you're doing, eat, and then go do the laundry or check out Facebook or watch Netflix. Okay. You will be amazed. I was amazed, full disclosure here. I was amazed when I started just eating, making eating the event, how uncomfortable it was. Because all of a sudden I had to be with just me and my thoughts. And for a time in my life, that was a really uncomfortable place to be. And for some of you watching, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm not saying that this is easy or comfortable. It might bring up a lot of uncomfortable thoughts or feelings, okay? And distracting ourselves with screens is an easy way to avoid that. But if you want to actually heal your relationship with food, heal your relationship with yourself, then some of those uncomfortable feelings need to come up. And some of those thoughts need to come up because that starts to give you the keys, the clues that you need to start to unravel what's really going on. Because it's not about the pasta and that pasta is bad and the cookies, you can't say no to sugar and the ice cream and I can't stay out of the pantry after the kids go to bed. Those are the symptoms. Like I get it, those are the symptoms and you want help with that. But those are symptoms of what's actually going on underneath. So making when you eat, that is all you're doing. I would really encourage you to do that and then be curious about what you start to notice. Bring awareness to it. Okay? Okay, that is all I have for you. I hope that was really helpful. I would love to hear what hit home for you the most. Please put it in the comments. If you, when, because I want you to try one or all of these steps. When you do, I want to know what you noticed, what happened. What did you discover and learn about yourself? And please either put it in the comments, PM me. I really am curious. I want to know. And I will be back in the group again soon. Okay, I hope you have a great day. Take care.